Hey there, today we are going to see how to use Microsoft Teams. So basically, Teams is a collaborative tool where you can connect with people from your organization or maybe your school. Now, if that's something interesting, let's get started. So first thing you need to know in Teams is you can use it in two different places. You can use a web version, which is right there on the internet, or you could use a desktop app and download it into your computer. Now, either way, the whole Teams is basically free of cost. You can sign up using your email address. Let's get into the features. So yeah, let's get into the features of Microsoft Teams. Now, the first thing you need to know how to use Teams is how to add or create a team. Now, for that, we need to go right on the bottom. As you can see, there is an option to join or create a team. Let's click that, and there's only one thing you can see to create a team with the plus button. Click that. So here you get two options. You get an option to build a team from scratch, or you can also export it from your existing Office 365 group. For now, we are going to build a team from scratch. Yeah. Okay, so when you do that, again, three options. It's as per your need if you want it private, public, or anyone from your organization can join. I guess it's based on domains. So for now, we are going to keep it public. And I'm going to give my team a name. I'm going to give it org4 as organization 4. Description is where you can write about your team or about your company, organization, etc. Now let's create it. So yeah, team has been created. The next thing that's going to show is adding members to your organization. So you can start by typing a name or email addresses of people you'd like to invite to this team. For now, I'm not going to add anyone. If you want, you can type an email and send a request. Skip. So now let's get into the settings for Teams. So you can see the settings button. I'm just going to click that. And I get all my active teams, organization 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to go into these three dotted lines. That's more options to see into team options. So the first one is manage team. When you see this, you get the people in the team, the channels. We'll get back to that. The settings of the team, that is your team picture, your member permissions. This is too boring to get into, but it's pretty straightforward to give access to the members of your team, how to restrict or how much access to give. Guest permission is like, okay, let's assume that you're having you're hiring maybe a third party company to work within your organization so they can join as guests into the team. And these are mentions, pretty straightforward when you're mentioning someone on the team, how they can use it. And let's get to the fun stuff there. Like, Teams has like a lot of fun stuff. Like there are emojis, there are GIFs and stickers and all that. Yeah. Now next, let's get into the analytics where you can see the summary of what's happening in your teams. You can pull out stats and all that. And yeah, you can actually integrate a lot of apps with Teams. We'll get back to that later. Now, I'm going to members and I am going to go to settings. So again, three dotted lines, manage team, we saw that, add channel, we'll get back to that later. Add member, pretty straightforward, adding members to your team. Leave the team, there are just two people, I don't want to leave the team right now, but if you want, you can just click and leave the team. Edit the team, the same thing, let's say your organization name changes one fine day and you can change the name of the team and description and yeah, go on with it. Again, more settings. Get linked to the team. Pretty useful stuff. Now, let's say you have 100 people in your organization and you don't want to invite each one of them personally by typing their email addresses. That's a depressing job. For that, you can get a link to the team. Let's say you have a personal WhatsApp group or anything. You can just put this link there and they can click and join. So this is pretty useful. Now, archive team, you can archive this team and also manage that. The final thing is delete a team. If you don't want to have an existing team in an organization, you can delete it. All right, now what we're going to look into is the main features of team. We're going to go button by button on what every function does. That's something you really need to know because only when you understand the interface of how teams work, you can use it seamlessly. Let's get to it. First thing is an activity tab where you get your feed. You get to see your notifications, your mentions, your replies, a lot more. Like it's just like your regular Facebook or your mobile notifications bar. So the best part here is you can personalize the feed. You can look at your whole feed, or you can look at just your own activity. That's pretty cool. Now, the next one is the chat box. The chat box is a place where you can see all the people in your organization. At the moment, I don't have any, but soon you can see a lot of people there. So yeah, so now you get to see or create a new chat. So you can enter the name, you can get a list of things right here with the names of people in your organization. Let's see how the messaging feature works. Here you can click to type a message. When you click this, you get more formatting options. You get your bold, italic, underline, basically 25% of Word. And here, this is something really interesting, delivery options. You can send it as a standard message. You can send it as an important message. Now, this is pretty cool. If something is really urgent, like you can send it as urgent, and the person you're sending it to gets notified every 2 minutes. You can send your attachments if you want to upload some important documents or anything. You can send using your computer or OneDrive. Now, the fun part, the emojis. Now, Microsoft didn't want to make this really dry, so they added some fun stuff like emojis, your GIFs. Wow, that's pretty cool. And also stickers. You can do that from office drama, meme, designers, development, legal. Okay, so that makes it pretty cool. Now, this is also something nice. It's praise. Like, let's say you have an organization with 100 people and you want to like praise few people. You can send praise to few people, and here you get to also use apps. Like you can embed apps into your message. Now and here is your delete option, and I'm going to delete this message. So that's how you use the chat feature. Now next we go to calls where you can make calls using Teams. You can make a group call. Here's your speed dial, your contacts, just like your phone, your history, your voicemail. You can make a group call and also an individual calls in Teams, and these are the files. The files in Teams is where every file which is shared within your organization comes all into one place. So let's say this is like a place where all your files are piled up. So this is like if you want to find some files real quick, you can just get into the files and find your files. Now the main thing there that we're really going to look into is the teams. Now when you go into teams, you have your active teams. So as we saw, there is organization 1, organization 2, and organization 3, finally organization 4. Now in organization 1, you can see general, department 1, department 2. Under organization 2, you can see only general. So that is like when you create a team, the general channel always comes there. So it's a general channel where it's something like, okay, let's think of it as a lounge area where everyone groups up together. Department 1 is categorizing your teams into different departments. Let's say finance department, marketing department, advertising department, or like let's say in education, maybe English department, math department, all that. So when you go into general, we get to see the same features apply in all the departments. But yeah, so here is more like a feed again, something a bit generalized. The activity is a place where you get to see the whole activity of the team, but in general, you get to see what's happening inside that specific team. So in general, you can add people, you can create channels, and there's like frequently asked questions. Files, you can share certain things into the general. Just let's say like in organization one, you have some important files which everyone in the organization can see. You can share it in general. When you click that, you get access to a lot of apps which can be integrated into Teams. That's something a bit advanced. I don't think you'd be using that right away. So let's leave that. And here under files, you get to see new, upload, sync, copy link, download. So it's pretty straightforward. You can add files, you can upload files, and you can copy the link and send it to someone. You can do a lot of things here. Now, let's get back to posts. Let's look into add more people. Again, it's the same thing as how you've seen in the settings where you can add members to this specific organization under the general category. Now, this is where you can open the people's pane, that is a members pane in Teams. We have two members right now, and you can see all the members right over here. And if you click this again, you get to see channel notifications. You can manage channel, same as exactly how we saw, but here you get to channel settings and permissions. If you go to settings, you can see a lot more of it, and you can get a link to the channel where people can join. So Teams isn't Teams if you can't meet people using the software. Now we're going to see how to meet people using Teams. So for that, let's go into any of your channels and go to conversation, and you can see this video camera button. Just click that, and you can add a subject to the meeting. I'm putting it as add meeting, and I'm going to meet now. So when you do that, your meeting starts. Now let's go into the features one by one. So the first thing is camera. You can turn it off or on. Your microphone on or off. More actions where you can turn off all incoming calls, videos. You can end the meeting, enter full screen mode. Something interesting, there's this meeting notes where let's say the people in the meeting can start taking meeting notes using Teams itself. Something that's important, they can write the key points of the meeting and everything using the meeting notes function. Now, the next one is raising your hand, where like people who are in the meeting can ask questions by raising their hand. The next one is the show conversation, where you can see a chat box of what's happening, what people are typing in, what questions they're asking. So right now I'm the presenter, so I can see all this. Like if they're asking some questions, you don't want to be interrupted in a presentation. So it's pretty obvious that the whole team must be muted and you're presenting. So let's assume somebody wants, like let's say multiple people want to ask you a question. Now the meeting chat is really useful because they can ask you any questions they want using the meeting function. The next one is show participants, where you can see the people who are inside the meeting. So if you click this thing, you can actually copy the meeting link on your clipboard and you can send it as an invitation for people to join the meeting. The next one is a share function where let's say you're presenting something, let's say you're presenting your marketing strategy or let's say your budget reports and you'd like to share your screen. So you can click on share screen. So there are three options here. You can share entire screen right now. This is the whole meeting. So I can share the screen. I can click and I can share. Or I can share an application window if I have any active applications running, like PowerPoint or let's say an Excel sheet. I can use that, and the Microsoft Edge tabs. Let's say I have something open on my internet. Let's say I want to show an article in the presentation, which is written by someone. So I can use that too to share in the meeting. Now, another pretty interesting feature again I've missed is, yeah, there it is, the whiteboard function. This is something that'll really be useful if you're presenting something more on an educational side, let's say for schools or universities where You have this whiteboard which you can use to present to your students, can draw, do a lot of things. And here, if I stop presenting, this thing stops. Now, these are the features which are there in the call function of Microsoft Teams. I hope you found it useful. So now this is to hang up, and we're just going to hang up right now. So as you can see, the meeting notes can be seen here. At the moment, there's nothing there, so you can see all the meeting notes that are taken, which is saved right into your drive, and you can access it anytime. So right now the meeting started, you can basically see what happened in the meeting, what replies are there, and you get like basic feedback of what happened in the meeting. The next very important thing is Microsoft Teams, as I said in the starting, can also be used as a desktop application. So if you're a frequent user of Microsoft Teams, I would highly suggest you click this button and download the app straight into your computer, and you don't have to open with an Internet Explorer or anything. So I hope you found the video useful and got an insight of how Microsoft Teams work. If you have any questions, you can always drop it down on the comment below or also email me with any questions and I'll try my best to reply to it right away. If you have any suggestions on videos on Microsoft Teams, you can drop down in the comment or message me straight away. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, do subscribe to our channel and I'll see you in another video.